Greetings ladies and gentlefish, and welcome to this here replay in the Stug 3G German Tier 5 tank destroyer. You can see that we are here on Himmelsdorf, which is not the best map for the Stug, as it's a very sort of traditional style tank destroyer, not very good view range, and likes to keep distance between itself and the bad guys, but you know, whatever. We'll see what we can do. Strictly speaking, this is actually Winter Himmelsdorf, which in most respects is the same as good old-fashioned regular Himmelsdorf. But there's the odd bush location or piece of cover that's in a marginally different position, and it's got a slightly snowy skin. Hurrah! Oh, let me just quickly change that reticule marker. And sorry about this, there we go, much better. So I don't like the little cross, I like a pair of dots. Anyway, we haven't missed anything, apart from one of our own light tanks getting the bejesus blurped out of him. So, we've come over to the right hand side here, because there's absolutely no way I'm taking this thing up onto the hill, even if I am top tier. And, you know, we can try and keep our enemies at range where we are. And there's a Crusader, one shot into him, one more should hopefully finish him off. And after playing a bunch of Russian tank destroyers, the gun arc on this tank actually feels quite comfortable, which is nice. So there we go, we take out that Crusader. That T-34 is driving headlong into a whole world of hurt. Ooh, Hetzer in the background, Hetzer in the background. Can we get any shots on him? There he is, there he is. No, little Hetzer, don't back off. We won't hurt you. Damn it! Alright. Now, the Stug is based on the Panzer III, and was the most widely produced tank destroyer of the Germans of the Second World War. And I decided to come around this corner. I was going to make a point, but we'll get to that in a second. Put a shot into that PZSFL. Load high explosive, because his armour is garbage. Now, it's based on the chassis of the Panzer III, and the Panzer III was a lovely mobile little medium tank, both in real life and in the game. So, the mobility of the Stug is pretty good. In fact, the main way in which you notice the mobility is slightly lacking is its reverse speed, which is only 10 kilometers a second, which means you have to be careful if you decide to try and play the machine a little bit more aggressively. So we go back to loading armour piercing. That Churchill 3 bounces on us. He's just blatting away. Ooh, he takes out my engine though, and I bounce on him, alas. Fix the engine, and there's that PZSFL again. Now, high explosive would wreck him. The problem with high explosive is that it won't go through obstacles in between, and ever since patch, I don't remember what it was, 8.7, 8 or something, I don't know. Patch a little while back, armour piercing and armour piercing composite rigid ammo will go through obstacles and still damage a tank behind it. You'll just lose a bit of penetration. And so you can see we use that to put a shot into the PZSFL. He is now a one shot, there's no point loading high explosive. I have a blind shot, which you have to be careful when you do with the Stug. It doesn't have a lot of ammunition, as you can see down the bottom. And I decided to relocate because things are getting a little bit hairy on this side of the map. Thankfully that Churchill managed to die, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. But there is the PZSFL, and the other side of the map, it's looking a little bit dubious. So we relocate and see if we can get some shots into people's rears. And the Stug is perfectly mobile enough to do that, which is a nice feature of it. Aiming at the corner to see if the Hetzer's going to come around. Nope, Hetzer just dies. So there's the KV-1 at D7, and we're going to see if we can come up behind him and give him some surprise butt-lovin'. Now he's facing off against one of our heavy tanks. He's facing off against our KV-1, but our KV-1 is very low health and could really do with some assistance. So, and you can see here, we're happily doing 40 kilometers an hour, which is respectable speed. And we accelerated fairly well up to it, and the Stug also turns quite nicely. So in the mobility department, this is quite a nice machine. And we're behind the KV-1, and so now, well, first things first, PZSFL is behind our KV-1, so let's just take him out. Nice easy kill, and then put a shot into the rear of this KV-1. KV-1 backs off, but he's turning the hull and the turret in opposite directions to try and get a shot on me. In the intervening time, well, yeah, he gets one more shot into me, that's great, but he's dead. we administer a bit of CPR to the driver, and just let the crew repair the vision device. Now, I was going to go and deal with that Sherman, but someone is in the base. Ooh, in the vicinity. It's unlikely to be the artillery, it's probably going to be that T-46, someone already killed the Sherman. And it doesn't look like we're going to lose this, but, you know, it's a tank, it's near me, we can kill it, let's go and kill it. See if we can get kill number 4, and there he is, T-46. We take him out before he manages to get anywhere safe, and that just leaves the artillery, for whom we load high explosive. Now, if memory serves, the PZSFL actually has 200 HP. My regular AP shells do 135 average damage, my HE does 175. So with a high damage roll on high explosive, I can one-shot the artillery. But in all likelihood, I won't one-shot it, I'll just get a bit more damage, providing I aim my shot carefully. Now, you have to be a little bit careful when you do this, loading high explosive against artillery, because artillery can sometimes still have the armour to not be penetrated by your HE and just take the splash damage. So, coming up behind this fellow, I load back armour piercing as he's just taken a big splat of damage, but the KV-1 finishes him off. And there we go, that was the game. And it ended up being quite a nice little game. And the Stug, well, it's a machine that's grown on me over time, I will admit. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that game. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel, and I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.